I know it's going to be really tough for a lot of Liverpool fans to even comprehend what just happened. Liverpool versus Atalanta. It's a very tough game to watch. It's a very tough game to break down as a Liverpool fan. First and foremost, congratulations to Atalanta, and I'm going to give them their flowers in this video and talk about some of the things that I noticed tactically that they did really well that I think Liverpool can learn from moving forward, not just in that second leg that's going to end up coming, but also just moving forward as a whole. But before we jump into it, make sure you guys, wherever you're watching this, like, comment, subscribe, follow me. It really helps out the channel a whole ton. And I appreciate all of you that have decided to actually do that in the last week. We continue to grow, and I appreciate all of you. And we're going to keep, doing these things on good days and on bad days like today. So, but let's jump right into it. So, there's a lot of things that I think as Liverpool fans we kind of have to take away from this is that, and Klopp has brought this up a handful of times, is that we weren't supposed to be here at the beginning of the season, right? At the beginning of the season, with how last season ended, I think a lot of us were already thinking that, like, okay, let's fight for a top four finish. Let's fight for the top two. No one ever expected us to be battling on all four fronts again, right? Obviously, that's extremely difficult to do. Doing a quadruple, any type of quadruple, is extremely difficult to do. Doing a double is just as difficult if you really look at it, and that's why they're so rarely done, because you have to be so good as a team for such very, very long periods of time. And you have to, when you hit your form, it has to be at the right time. And unfortunately, I think we may have hit our form a little bit too soon. So hear me out. We weren't supposed to be here in the beginning of the season. We've kind of created these pseudo expectations amongst the fan base that we should be up there at the top and battling for every trophy, which we should, as Liverpool FC, the most successful British club in England, right? um, we should be up there. But this was always kind of supposed to be a transitionary season where we rebuild our midfield. We give them a season to kind of grow into it. And in the following season, we come at this thing full force and we win what we can. At least that's what I understood coming into the season. But then we just went on this amazing run. And I think expectations got really high. And I think we peaked like right before Christmas and into January. And now we're kind of coming down sooner than we need to, which is unfortunate. You can kind of see it in some of the players. I think reality is starting to set in. It's just like, man, we're playing a lot of games, and man, these are the last handful of games that we're going to be playing for Jurgen. And I think it's starting to kind of set in, and reality is starting to kick in for a lot of these players. So I don't know. I can't really blame anybody for this performance, to be honest. Um, it was bad all the way around, really. I think if we were to pick a man of the match, it would probably be Cody Gakpo. I actually think he played really well in the middle of the pitch today. And if you look at his stats, he actually played really well compared to everybody else. But it's tough. It's a tough one to analyze. But all credit to Atalanta and their fans. They were absolutely amazing today. I think there's definitely something that we can learn from Liverpool, not the fans, but just Jurgen Klopp and his team tactically, of just how to create a simple game plan and stick to it, right? Where they were committed to counterattacking and creating simple opportunities and simple chances with simple finishing, right? You look at Skamaka and Darwin Nunez, two players in two similar positions with similar builds, right? And Skamaka is putting away his simple finishes while Nunez is not doing that so as much, and making a meal out of a lot of these simple opportunities that he has, of going for chips and going for really weird, bending his body really weirdly and trying to bend a shot into the. Sometimes you just got to control it and slot it, right? Sometimes you just got to just make the simple pass and put a shot on target and then follow up, right? Kind of how that third goal went for Atalanta. So it's just like, I think we just have to get back to the basics of football. We got to get back to the basics of how we play and how we played when Sadio Mane and Firmino and Salah were in. No screamers, no insane finishes. Pass, open net goal. Right. That's how we did it. And that's how we play, and we got to get back to that style of play in these last 7 games or so, 8 games if we're counting the Europa League game, right? And I'm hearing a lot of things from Liverpool fans about Klopp was arrogant for fielding this team. Um, it's time for him to go. I'm glad that we're getting a new manager. This happens every time at the end of season at the end of every season. I think we'll grow to regret some of these comments for sure. Klopp is by far one of the best managers, if not the best manager, that has coached Liverpool in the Premier League manager in the Premier League era. And I'm gonna actually recant that statement. I'm gonna say he is the best in the Premier League era. And to say these things about him after one game that we were just genuinely outplayed in. Atalanta, they had a great game plan and they executed really well. And they knew the limits of their players and they knew what they were good at and they knew their strengths and they played on those things. Could there be a possibility that Atalanta just figured out how to play against us and they outplayed us? Is it anybody's fault that we just got outplayed by a better team tonight? I don't think so. And I think we need to stop pushing these narratives is that somebody's to blame for this result. Maybe no one's to blame and they're just a solid team that's well drilled and they can beat anybody on any day. They're sixth place in Serie A. Okay. There's a lot of sixth place teams that could beat Real Madrid in the Premier League. I think Man United on their day could beat Real Madrid in the Premier League. I think Chelsea could beat anybody in the world on their day, and they're in 10th place. So to say like we shouldn't be losing to sixth place team, seventh place. We play football. If you've ever played football, you know anybody can win on any day with a well executed game plan that's followed through by the players who have the belief behind them. I think that's the difference. Why Atalanta they got the result today and we didn't is because of that specific thing. That they have players that believed in the game plan and they followed through and they believed. That's just the main thing, right? So I really implore a lot of Liverpool fans is just like don't overreact on these things, man. What changed from 2 weeks ago, since before the Man United game when we were 3 points, 5 points clear of the others, and it was like this is the season, and then a handful of results don't go our way, and then all of a sudden we're getting nothing out of the season when we've already won something. So it's crazy to think, okay, it's all over. It's crazy to think that it's not all over. We're not done. If there is any team that can come back from a 3-0 down on a European night against all odds away on the other person's home ground, it's Liverpool FC. If there is any team that can come back and get this result back in the second leg, it's Liverpool FC under Jurgen Klopp. Don't forget that. Don't forget we did this exact same thing against a much better Barcelona team with Lionel Messi in it. You don't think we can do this to an Atalanta team with Gianluca Scamacca in it? With Charles de Ketelaere in it? You don't think we can pull 4 goals back and create another miracle against this team? On our day? On a European night? With Jurgen Klopp as our coach? I don't think you've been around for very long. Let me know what you guys think. Am I being over optimistic? I don't think so, but we'll see in a week. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Truthfully, I'd love to have a conversation about it in the comments, and we will see you next time. Peace.